It's a Minimalist Monday edition of Optimal Finance Daily, episode 1704. Would you go this far to pay off your debt? By Cynthia Meyer with financialfinesse.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. This show is actually one of multiple shows in our network, covering different topics like personal development, health, and relationships. So if you like narration-style podcasts, be sure to search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this and check out our other shows. But for now, let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. Would you go this far to pay off your debt? By Cynthia Meyer with financialfinesse.com. Do you feel like the stress from your credit card debt and student loans is out of control? Perhaps you're wishing on stars for a lottery win or an unexpected inheritance which will wipe your financial slate clean. Maybe you're putting off going to the dentist or taking a vacation so you can pay your credit card minimums. If you're sick and tired of living this way, ask yourself this question: am I ready to do whatever it takes to pay off my debt? You are not alone. Our research shows that nearly 1 in 4 employees, or 23%, reports unmanageable financial stress. No age, gender, income level, or demographic group is immune from financial mistakes. However, the reverse is also true. Millions of people of all ages, genders, income levels, and demographic groups have successfully tackled their debts and gone on to build very comfortable financial lives. I know because I'm one of them. In my early 30s, I was a renter with credit card debt, student loans, a damaged credit score, and a lifestyle beyond my means. 20 years later, I'm a financially independent homeowner, real estate investor, and committed saver who puts away 30% of my income. My journey to find financial balance inspired an entirely different career as a financial planner and led me to meet my husband. It all started with my personal declaration of financial independence and my vow to make whatever changes were necessary to dig myself out of the hole I was in. Big changes get big results. How did I do it? Initially, I tracked my expenses and made small changes that saved $5 to $10 per day. I made coffee at home, gave up magazines, canceled the gym membership, etc. My fellow planner, Kelly Long, had similar experiences of cutting small luxuries when she was tackling debt. Although I was proud of myself for making changes, after a few months, I grew frustrated. I didn't feel like I was making progress quickly enough. That's when I decided that only making drastic changes would get the outsized results I was seeking. Here's what I did. Number 1, I downsized my living space. I had a beautiful, spacious rooftop apartment with a deck, a view of downtown, and a short walk to the lake. I gave my notice and moved into the home of some friends for 3 months while they traveled overseas, then rented a room in a 2-bedroom house for a few years. I saved about $600 per month in housing costs, even if my dignity suffered a little initially, and ended up with a fun housemate. After a few years, I moved back into my own place, but instead of choosing a spacious downtown apartment, I chose a small studio. If you're looking for some wiggle room in your budget to pay down debt, looking at living expenses may make sense. Is it time for you to downsize your housing? Number 2, I took walks, hikes, and hosted potlucks. As a single woman in an urban area, I had grown accustomed to a social life built around discovering new restaurants, movies, and meeting for wine or coffee. That was a lot harder to change than my living space. What would I do for fun? I set parameters for how much I would spend on entertainment per week, about $50 for a savings of around $300 per month, and began to find new ways to connect to my friends. I was proactive, suggesting meeting for a walk instead of Thai food. When friends invited me to dinner or to an event, I politely declined if I'd met my entertainment budget for the week. Parties became potluck dinners, which friends liked because they saved everyone money. There is a secret financial power in home cooking. And number 3, I gave up my car. A few years into my financial transformation, I was making excellent progress. I had moved back into my own place, up in the hills where there was no close public transportation. Then a twist of parking fate compelled me to give up my car and to not replace it. I walked almost everywhere, a relatively easy thing to do in a big city, and took buses and the train. I will admit, There were occasional moments of embarrassment, such as when I sprained my ankle and friends at work had to drive me around for a few weeks. I chose to explain my decision by saying I wanted to walk more for fitness. This saved me about $300 per month compared to what I had been spending. I'm not the only planner who's done this, by the way. My financially savvy colleague, Eric Carter, went carless last year. How much did I save altogether from these big changes? More than $1,200 per month between reduced housing costs, giving up my car, and capping my entertainment expenses. That's 4 times as much as I had been saving by cutting small luxuries. Thanks to my willingness to reconsider the necessity of the most expensive items in my spending, I was able to pay off my debts much quicker and save thousands in interest charges. Tackling debt can feel like climbing a mountain, it's true. But adventurous souls climb mountains every day. Consider making some big changes to climb that debt mountain faster. Trust me, you'll feel great when you get to the top and look around at how far you've come. You just listened to the post titled, "Would You Go This Far to Pay Off Your Debt?" by Cynthia Meyer with financialfinesse.com. A lot of investment apps make it easy to start trading, but just because it's easy to do doesn't mean you know what you're doing. That's what makes Wealthfront different. They make it easy to invest and they make it easy to get smarter about investing. In just minutes, you can get started with Wealthfront's classic portfolio, or you can make things custom with the investments you care about most. Wealthfront even offers a socially responsible portfolio, a mix of funds built around human rights, climate change, and sustainability. Wealthfront is super easy to personalize, meaning you can tweak your portfolio to match the things you care about. No matter what you're into, Wealthfront will help you build wealth responsibly and protect you from making a dumb mistake, like going all in on some bad advice you got on Reddit. Best of all, Wealthfront is totally automated. They do all the trading, all the rebalancing, and they even help you lower your tax bill as you invest. It's streamlined, it's effortless, it works like a charm, or like really exceptional software. Get your first $5,000 managed for free at wealthfront.com/OFD. Start building your wealth today at wealthfront.com/OFD. That's wealthfront.com/OFD. As someone who got out of 30 grand of debt in 11 months, this topic is one very close to my heart. One thing I'd like to offer up here is that our internal dialogue about our debt and spending has a powerful effect on our actions. So if we're telling ourselves that we have to make great sacrifices, that it's going to be a struggle to get out of debt, and that it's going to be a ton of hard work, there is a tone of negativity there that might thwart our efforts. What worked well for me was staying engaged with the excitement of paying off my debt by focusing more on what I'm gaining versus what I was losing. I think framing things in a positive way and genuinely having a real preference for my frugal habits versus seeing them as a sacrifice or burden made the process so much more enjoyable. So for example, I started cooking nearly every meal I ate and really enjoyed my experiments in the kitchen. Or when it comes to clothing, for years, most of my clothing came from clothing exchanges with my friends. They were so much fun and totally free. I actually much prefer hosting a clothing exchange to going shopping or buying new clothing. With every challenge comes incredible opportunity to learn about ourselves and grow into our full potential. Yes, debt reduction is a challenge, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a struggle. And that's a wrap for another Monday show. Have a great rest of your day and start to your week. And I'll be back tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.